work as a Chief, brought leadership, work ethic, toughness, mentored both Creed and Trey, switched to left tackle when needed, battled each Sunday, just a true professional. So it's a loss for the Chiefs. Nick, your reaction?
All right, listen, he should be in short order in the Chiefs Hall of Fame. We'll see his argument when it's all said and done for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but 5 All-Pros, 4 Super Bowls. There's not a lot of offensive linemen with those credentials. But it's sad, but it's smart for Kansas City. You kept the younger player. The younger guard you are now going to extend. Coach is going to laugh at me. I have no inside information, but I think that Brew might be sad with one of the Chiefs' potential offensive lineman acquisitions, because I think they're going to go after Ronnie Stanley to play left tackle. And the kid they drafted in the second round last year as a tackle or guard, Kingsley Suamataia, is going to play left guard. And you have to, when you are drafting 29, 30, 31, or 32 every year, you've got to play your high draft picks. And that's what they're going to do. And so this is how the Patriots stayed the Patriots when guys got older. Even if they still had good football left in them, they moved on. And you can't have the highest paid center in the league and the 2 highest paid guards in the league. That's what they were looking at. And so they kept Trey Smith and moved on from Thuney. You got to do it.
Yeah, it is a difficult decision, but organizationally it makes a lot of sense. So you move on from his $15 million this year. You pick up the 4th rounder next year. From a long-term perspective, it completely makes sense. The challenging thing is we all know why the Super Bowl was lost, and that was because of the problems on the offensive line. They had the problems all season with the offensive line. So if you're looking from a short-term perspective, that's the area they need to improve. So to not only remove a player of his caliber, but also the leadership that he brought, and he was a force multiplier on the offensive line, and he brought that value. That's what makes this so challenging, because if you don't hit on the young tackle, or if you don't, the new free agent that you do bring in to spend money on isn't what you had, then the decision becomes not only a short-term organizational decision, but potentially a really, really negative decision.
I don't like it at all. As a Mahomes guy, not a fan. That's what makes this so challenging. That's coach spitting bars, basically. On the Bears side, Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles busy rebuilding Caleb's line, not only adding Thuney, but they also made a deal with the Rams for Jonah Jackson yesterday. He was with Ben Johnson in Detroit. Chicago fortifying a line that had Caleb under duress, and it was not motivational. 6 was the 3rd most ever. Shout out to David Carr, who appears twice on this list. You don't want to be on this list. But there he is. Brew, are you expecting a huge sophomore season from Caleb now that his line is getting better?
Well, it better be a very good year from Caleb. There's no excuses. Last year he got criticized, fairly, but there were excuses for him. He's obviously a rookie. But now rookies are coming in, not all of them, but coming in and playing well. C.J. Stroud, of course, a couple years ago. Jaden Daniels this year. Bo Nix this year. And he's got, assuming, they got Jonah Jackson, so him and Thuney, assuming the offensive line is fine, you got the brilliant mind, we think, offensively. Ben Johnson now is your head coach. You still got the 3 great receivers, or very good receivers.
Well, Keenan's a
free agent. But Rome, Adunze, and DJ Moore, just those
enough.
2 are very good.
Agreed.
DeAndre Swift, the defense started the season well, and when they were in the hunt for a while, the defense was playing well. So Caleb, and again, look, we've seen Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, and I'm not saying it's automatic that if he doesn't play well this year, he's a bust. But I'm saying there's really no excuse for him to not go out and play well.
He might have.
Yeah, but I'm just saying guys can turn it around.
Right,
Darnold,
but it can still be a bust.
If Darnold goes on to have a pretty good career, then
he's a bust
you wouldn't
that
call
turned
him
it
a
around.
bust. Yeah. So he's got to get it done, and there's no excuses.
When you look at the season, it was so bad statistically, and it was so bad in terms of what the expectations were. And I thought they were, like Nick, I didn't think they were going to be as good as what Nick thought, but I thought they were going to be very good with the weapons that they had, the money that they had put into the team, the resources, and Caleb's potential. And then to come out, they were 32nd in the league in rushing. I think they were 31 in points, 27th in passing. And when you look at Caleb, his numbers aren't horrible. Touchdowns to interceptions, quarterback rating, all those things. But it's the bar is set so low based off of last year's performance. What's considered an exceptional season? Is it just growth by him, or do they have to be competing to win the division? Like there's a different bar.
They probably have to have team success.
Well, they set the bar so low, and his bar is now here versus expectations that some growth would be considered an exceptional season.
I don't think they would. I don't think just growth would be considered exceptional. Well, I think that would be considered. Sorry, not to do a term phrase. Okay. Acceptable, but I think an exceptional season would be you make the playoffs and Caleb looks really good. What I was predicting for them last year. I'm not going to say win
Super Bowl.
No. What I'm saying, you're right. I'm not trying to let myself off the hook, but I'm saying, I guess, less than what I was predicting for him last year. But Caleb looked really good and make the playoffs. I'm not going to say win the division because last year a 14-win team didn't win the division. But
the reason I said that is because a catastrophic season would be something similar to this year.
Yes.
Where now not only is the team losing faith in him and confidence in him, but he probably loses confidence in himself. And now you have this potential star who has back-to-back years of terrible production. And now everybody's looking as like, okay, what do we do? Where do we go from here?
And if you're the guy, and I believe Caleb's the guy, then in one of your first 2 years, you show it. There's not a lot of examples of guys who popped in year 3. Now, people say what they want about my belief in Trevor. Trevor in year 2 was excellent. And then, regressed, and maybe that was a mirage. But you know what I mean?
He was good.
Okay.
Excellence of those.
He
looked like a franchise.
He looked like a franchise quarterback who played really well as the season went on. Right, all of it. There's not a lot of examples of guys who, in modern NFL, who were really bad year 1 and 2. Baker was kind of the opposite.
Yeah,
Baker was really good for a rookie, set the rookie touchdown pass record, and then was bad in year 2 and then came back up in year 3. It's a massive year for Caleb. Last year, I think, was fairly a lot of it. I think a lot of people put on the coaching disaster that it was. You fire the offensive coordinator, you fire the head coach, you promote this, all of it. They got the coach they wanted. They still have the weapons. They are prioritizing the offensive line. I think there's real expectation and it's fair.
I'll give him, if he puts up numbers, good passer rating, doesn't throw a lot of picks, and they say 10-7 and don't make the playoffs.
Oh, sure.
I think that's fine.
Yes, I agree if they win 10 games.
Growth.
Yeah.
Some people are going to say this is too early. Week 1.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Week 1.
He's must
win.
He said
that is